All right. Hey, you guys. My name is Coach Theseus Jackson. I coach at Central High School in Macon, Georgia, wide receivers coach. And I'm going to be talking about, wide receiver play with high school athletes. About Central High School, we are located in Macon, Georgia, as I stated earlier. Our mascot is the Chargers. My head football coach is Coach Jacqueline Sample. A little bit about me. I played my football at Division II, Valdosta State University. I was a running back, wide receiver there under head coach David Dean. I was there from 2008 to 12, and I was also on the 2012 National Championship team at Valdosta State University. Okay, going into my guys at Central High School, this was my receivers from last season. They called themselves, Yak Boys, and as a group, they were Yak Nation. These are some pictures of the guys, some action shots, and it's funny, I let them come up with the name themselves, and as a group, this is what they came up with. I only had 2 seniors this previous season, and the rest of them were juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. But these guys, they worked their tails off when I got there in the summer. And, we developed a bond very, very fast. And it showed on the field, especially as we got deeper in the season. All right, this is a picture of my guys, but as you can see from the previous slide, a lot of them aren't pictured because, being at a smaller school like Central, you got to use your athletes anywhere you can. So some of my guys had to go to defense. Some of them had to take on special teams roles. But, they worked hard no matter what role they had to take on. But some are expectations from last year. And these are what the guys came up with. I told them what I expected, but I let them come up with, some things that they thought was important and what they expected, not only from themselves, but as the group collectively. First thing, academics. They know without academics, you can't play. So if you take care of academics, everything on the field take care of itself. Second thing, got to play fast. You play fast, you're a step ahead of the guy. Good things will happen, and they really embodied that, and it showed, especially when we got deeper in the season. Other teams, kind of go slowing down, and later in the season, fourth quarter comes, boys are tired, as for breaks, but these guys kept up the intensity 4 quarters, and I was really proud of them with that. Number 3, play physical. You got to play physical. If you don't play physical, the other guy going to take advantage, and he's going to beat you, and it's going to be one of them things where I can't beat this guy. But this was one of those that I mentioned, and they really was like, yeah, coach, if you play physical, we could play bully ball. And I'm like, I like that. That's a mindset you got to have, because our offense, how we ran, we were 75% run. So they had to run block a lot. And that physicality transferred from when they ran block, and when we did have our, times where we had to throw the ball, they, got physical, was able to beat the defender, get the ball, get extra yards after the catch. Number 4, which I feel like should have been number 1 for them, no block, no rock. If you don't block, you ain't getting the ball. And this kind of took a while for them to understand, but after the first couple of games, when one of them missed a block, I take them out the game, and they really took notice, like, okay, coach, if we don't block, we're not gonna, get in. So I need to start blocking, and that helped them change their mindset. because later on, those big runs that we broke for first downs started becoming touchdowns. And you never know how crucial that play can be or that block can be if you're loafing and that, making that block to spring up your teammate on that play. And the last one, got to win 50-50 balls. 50-50 balls correlates with playing physical, because if you dominate your man, you're going to get that ball. And like I said, it was a mindset. Like, every ball in the air is mine. I don't care. And those guys, 50-50 balls, they would put their body on the line to get that ball no matter what. And I'm real proud of these guys, because a lot of them took some big hits, but they made the catch and came down with the ball. All right. This slide was what we did for warm-ups and some of the drills that we did. So with the warm-ups, we pre-practice. So pre-practice, we're getting out there before pretty much the rest of the team. We're stretching as a group. We're doing like a good 5-10 minute stretch because we're doing a lot of running. So we didn't have time for anybody pulling a hamstring, tweaking a groin, so we stretched good as a group. Then after that, we did soft toss. And we never really did too much with the football until quarterbacks got out there. So the soft toss with the tennis ball, how it is, they line up, single file line, on the line. So let's say you're on a 30-yard line, they're running straight to me. I got tennis balls, I'm throwing it at them. Catch it, looking it all the way in, taking it. That way, so when they get to the footballs, it is easy transition. Catch, tuck the ball. So we do that with the tennis balls, and by that time, quarterback should be down, and we line up 2 separate lines, pat and go. Basically, quarterbacks just like little walk-through jog. Quarterbacks, say the cadence, snap the ball. Receivers, and usually we don't just do this with receivers. Usually all skilled players get in on this. They'll, see the ball snap, work off like somebody's personal, go through technique, get into just jogging the fly route. Quarterbacks first going to put it on them, then later on they're going to air. So they got to work on looking it right in, then working on catching over the shoulder. Then after we're done with that, right before we start practice, we work on our starts and stances. That's our base. And usually, like in the middle of the season, we usually don't have to do it as much because by then they should have it, honestly. And some of the drills we do, we work on our releases. Like inside release, outside release, and if someone's pressed, we work on those releases. But I know my first season with these guys, I know I told them, work your different releases, but it was a point where, we wasn't really blocking. And in high school, a lot of teams run cover 3, so the guys are kind of backed off. So I told my guys, all right, until I see something different, it was a mandatory inside release. That way, we running the route, we blocking, you already got the leverage on that guy. Since, cover 3, the corners are kind of back 5 to 8 yards. And that ended up helping us with our blocking as well, just doing that mandatory inside release. But yeah, we work on all our releases. We do routes on air with tennis balls. So like every route that we work on, we're doing it with tennis balls, because then this goes into the next drill called a focus drill. We'll have like one of our running backs throwing the ball to the receiver. We tell them the route, they do the route, and I'm in the middle of the field or somewhere where I know they're going to catch the ball, and they have to focus on catching the tennis ball. And at the same time while they're focusing, I'm yelling, I'm hitting them with the pad. That way they're concentrating and looking the ball all the way in. And doing that with a tennis ball is extremely hard. But And it showed later on in the season in some games, you got some of the guys running the routes, and you got the linebacker and cornerback all over them, converging on them. They look, concentrating, looking the ball in, making a catch. And it's, it translates very well to the field. And trust me, as a coach, seeing that the drills translating from practice to the game is a very good sight. And our last drill that we usually do is an attack drill. So this is where we focus on our curls, hitches, any drill where you got to come back to the ball. We're attacking. We're attacking the ball, looking at it. And I'm still, yelling, screaming, doing everything I can to distract them, to make them drop the ball. And also on some of the drills that we do are like, the one-on-one drills, usually stuff you do at practice, which I didn't have listed. And this is our 2019 team from last season. Great group of guys. I enjoyed working with them. They made my first season at Central very enjoyable. And, we had, like I said earlier, we had some guys that had to leave for, whatever reasons to go to defense. Had two of my receivers, they had to leave and work on kicking, which I was like, okay, it made me proud because I'm like, okay, you think my receivers are the best athletes on the field because you are not taking anybody else to do what you're asking them to do. You trust my guys first. So, I'm proud of those guys. They, they were accepted their roles, didn't complain, and they worked as a group when they were together. So, very proud of these guys. I only had two seniors, number 11, Stafford Stubbs, who ended up becoming one of my top receivers last season. And he was probably my most improved receiver. And number 6 was my tight end slot, Carlos Flowers, who recently signed to Columbus State for the football scholarship. I'm proud of him. He came a long way. Having him be with the offensive lineman and working on blocking, then coming with me, working on routes. He really took that leader role, and he wanted to be that guy that the guys could count on, and he ended up becoming that guy that I could go to, like, hey, what do you think we should do? We could talk, and he'll tell me what the guys were saying, and that our where he's at. Zaylen Webb, this guy right here, was my top receiver last season. And as a junior, and as much as I used to yell at him, he'll be like, Coach, I got you. I'll make something happen. And he usually stood by his word and made plays happen. But yeah, so starting with these guys and I know what helped me out with these guys, and which a lot of high school coaches probably already know, a lot of stuff I did happen over the summer. Like them early morning practices where you just had time to just focus on football. We did so much during the summer, before practice, after practice. When the season came, I did less teaching. I was able to just coach them more instead of trying to teach them. Because that summertime, going through the practices, I was able to teach them everything that they needed. And when the season started, we were just able to build on top of what I already taught them. And it proved very effective, which hopefully, during these tough times, I wish, we could be out with the guys now, but, keeping everybody safe, hopefully, you got some guys that's on their own doing things on the, talking to you, communicating with you, going out on the field, working on, their craft on their own. And so when we do get back, you go full swing. And I got some guys that's like that now, where they're, hey coach, what do I need to work on? Is there anything I need to work on? I recorded what I did. How do you think I did? Like I had my guys taking the initiative doing that. And, I'm just looking at what they're doing, coaching them up. And I'm like, just give them some pointers, and just tell them, try it again. Next thing you know, I'm getting another video message. Yeah, coach, I did this. How it look? I'm like, that's spot on. I like it. So, just, and that doing that shows me that the guys actually bought in to what I'm coaching them, and they, trust in what I'm coaching them with. All right. And these were the awesome group of men with their families that I had the opportunity to coach with my first season. Like the two guys up front, Coach P, our offensive line coach, like a brother to me when I first got there. Coach Tampa, my head coach, I promise that's like, he's like my dad almost. And we got on the left with his three kids, Coach Clark, our defensive line coach. He's like a big brother to me. Coach Williams right here. Man, our defensive coordinator, fun guy to be around. Coach Stevens, another fun guy. Coach Lee, always the life of practice, tripping me out, tripping everybody out. Coach Gibson, he's like another big brother figure to me. We grew up in the same town, ended up coaching at the same school, so it's great coaching with him. Coach Coward, another great guy now that I like to be around. He was our defensive line coach as well. And yeah, Coach Dyer, who unfortunately passed away, he was like my brother as well. But, just being around these guys this past season, going through the grind of the season, it was tough, but, it was like that was my family. So just being around them guys, made my experience my first year there very enjoyable. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Before that, I'm gonna share some game clips that show where we, some of the things where the drills translated to the field. This one play, we got our slot receiver, Tyler Callaway. We were just running a simple, hitch route. And you see you got an overhang guy over him. He attacks, catches the ball, make a move, get upfield. One thing that I've been coaching, focus on the ball, look it in. He kind of, didn't attack it as much as I wanted him to, but he was able to get back to it, catch it, make a move, get positive yards. That's all I asked for. And it took him a while to understand this concept because he's probably the receiver that has the best footwork on the team. And trust me, he shows it every chance he gets. But he's and then like later on in the season, I told him you stop relying on your footwork. You gotta just run the route because it don't always involve having good footwork. Just run the route, catch the ball, and just get yards, and you did your job. And he looked at me like I was crazy, but he bought into it. And plays like this, it shows. There's another clip where number 13, Zaylen Webb, catches a slant route, makes some people miss, able to get in the end zone. Like, And like I said, Zaylen, he was our top receiver last season. Kind of lazy coming out, but you see, he attacked the ball, when it got it, made people miss. One thing I really used to get on him about was tucking the ball. And he ended up, listening to me because I'm like, if you fumble, you won't play no more. And he was like, oh, man. So, but you see, just great effort. Guys, it like, not only was it great individual effort, but, guys see him breaking, trying to find somebody to block so he can get in the end zone. And like I said, those blocks are key, especially against great teams like Peach County. And if you could get, a first down is great, but a touchdown is even better. And if, it's a dog fight, you need those touchdowns more than first downs. All right, here's another clip. And this was actually our running back, Maurice Elder, number 4. Great kid, yes or no sir guy. Whatever you ask him to do, he's gonna do it. And like as the season was coming to an end, more like week 6, week 7, he started getting in our receiver drills more. And this drill, he kind of struggled with at first, but he picked it up real quick because, with running a quick slant where that guy's right there ready to knock your head off and you got to focus and catch the ball. That, see how it translated, because a lot of kids probably going to drop that ball with him coming down and hitting you, or even just making contact, because you're more focused on that hit instead of just really catching the ball. But you see, ran the slant, quick slant. He braced for contact, focused on the ball, brought it in for a good, 5-yard gain, which, positive yards is always good yards. You never want to go backwards, especially against teams like this. All right. This last play, when I'm showing this play because the same number, that's Tyler Calloway, who had, good catch earlier. Like I said, like good footwork, sold the route, perfect, wide open, tripped over his own feet, had a touchdown. But, I didn't have to say nothing. He already knew if he would have stayed on his feet, that's easy 6. But I wasn't going to beat him up about it because, why beat a kid? He had an easy touchdown. He's upset at himself. So, I just told him, hey, you caught the ball. Just stay on your feet. You're walking in the end zone. He looked at me, yes, sir. And then we, I laughed about it. I'm like, you good. It happens to the best of us. Like in college, I had easy touchdowns. I tripped over my own feet. And I was mad at myself, and the head coach laughed at me. He was like, you were moving too fast, wasn't you? I'm like, yes, sir. He laughed. He said, you're going to get it again. Don't worry about it. So, but yeah. But like I said, these guys, great group of kids. I enjoyed my first season with them. Took a while to get the respect from them, but, they ended up respecting me and became very interested in what I had to say and teach them about. So I'm looking forward to, this next season, dealing, coaching these guys, and, yes, I'm excited, even though, some things happen within the program. So I actually moved from wide receivers coach to a quarterbacks coach now. So all the quarterback gurus, I'm open to anything you have to teach me. Like I'm trying to learn everything I can about the quarterback position, because like I said, I was a running back, wide receiver. Like I played arena ball. I was a DB. So, quarterback position is somewhat new and I know the basis, but, and then come down to some of the details, quarterback coaches, I'm gonna need help. So I am gonna be reaching out to you guys for, some help with that. But Coach, thank you for having me. I'm Theseus Jackson, Coach Jackson, Central High School in Macon, Georgia. My email is listed, theseus.jackson@bcsdk12.net. My Twitter handle is on there as well at TheseusJack28. So if you want to contact me, we could talk some more ball, just Twitter, email. I'm wide open and I'd love to talk to you guys.